Founded in 1727 by Kachwaha ruler Raja Jai Singh II, after whom the city was named, Jaipur is one of the most popular tourist destinations in India. Due to the dominant color scheme of the city, it is also known as Pink City. In this vlog, we share with you some tips to keep in mind while traveling through this city. Our first stop for the day was Jaipur City Palace. Laden with 5 galleries and several courtyards, the City Palace is a must visit. I would suggest booking your tickets with a top up of an audio guide much in advance to avoid the queue in the ticket counter. By opting for an audio guide, you can cover the palace at your own pace without the hurry created by a guide. What you see here is the Sarvatobhadra, which served as a courtyard for the rulers to hold a private audience. It is used till date by the royal family to celebrate all of their festivities. Pole in Marwari means gate, and this is the Chandrapole. This is the royal residence where the royal family lives. At a special cost of 2000, you can get a private tour. Upon exiting the city palace, you'll have to cross the road to visit the famous Jantar Mantar. India has had a total of 5 Jantar Mantars at Delhi, Ujjain, Varanasi, Mathura and Jaipur. While the one at Mathura was destroyed due to the 1857 revolt, the one that we are at is the biggest of them all, which was built and commissioned by Raja Jai Singh II. The Jantar Mantar comprises of 19 astronomical instruments and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. For this place, I would suggest taking a guide so you will be in a position to appreciate the science behind each instrument. Our next stop was Hawa Mahal. It was built in 1799 by Maharana Pratap Singh. It has 5 stories and 2 courtyards. Sharad Mandir was used for autumn celebrations. Ratan Mandir has ornate glass work. The third floor Vichitra Mandir was used for the worship of Lord Krishna. Prakash Mandir and Hawa Mandir are open terraces, and Hawa Mandir is how the structure got its name. Hawa Mahal has small windows that helped keep the residence cool by compressing the inflowing air and expanding it, causing an air conditioning effect during the summers. I feel you really have to feel it to believe it. By the time we were done with these 3 attractions, it was time for us to head to Nahargarh Fort. It overlooks the city and is at the edge of Aravali Hills. This fort, along with Amer and Jaigarh forts, formed the strong defense for the city. Savai Madho Singh had 9 quarters for each of his wives, and each room has delicate fresco paintings which are still preserved till date. Each of these quarters are also linked by a corridor. I would suggest getting here by sunset because nothing beats this view. You can also check out light and sound show if it is available. The next day, we decided to head to Amer Fort. Amer Fort, also known as Amber Fort, was built by Raja Alan Singh Chanda of the Mira clan. His clan was a devotee of Amba Mata and hence the name. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the top, and the view is absolutely breathtaking. The architecture is greatly influenced by Mughal architecture. I would suggest booking your tickets in advance so you don't have to wait in queue. Also, consider hiring a guide services to know some lesser known information and snippets about the fort. The fort is quite huge, so you can easily spend about 2 to 2.5 hours here. Rajasthan's oldest museum and a fine example of Indo-Saracenic architecture, Albert Hall was named after King Edward VII, who laid the foundation stone during his visit to the city. Although Maharaja Ram Singh wanted the hall to be a town hall, his successor Madho Singh II decided for it to be a museum to showcase Jaipur's art. One of the main attractions here is the Egyptian mummy. The museum also has an enviable collection of coins from the Gupta, Kushan, British and Mughal periods. Our last stop for the day was Rawat Mishtan Bhandar. This chain of eatery is highly raved about by so many, including the locals. I must say that we thoroughly enjoyed the Pyaz Kachori, Kala Gulab Jamun and Malpua. Needless to say, the sugar rush had us energized for the next 2 hours. The assortment of chaats, snacks and lassis are quite good. And personally, I would say go here with an empty stomach to eat to your heart's content.